Johnny. My name is Megan Edwards of Focus Communications, and today we're getting an update from Rackla Metals, who trades on the TSX.V under the symbol RAK. Joining me is Rackla CEO and Director Simon Ridgway. Simon, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you for the invite again, Megan.
Could you give us an overview of the company and your portfolio of projects along the Tombstone Gold Belt?
Yeah, so Rackla is active right on the border of the Yukon and Northwest Territories in the Tombstone Gold Belt, looking for basically large gold systems related to these tombstone intrusives. We've had a very active season over the summer in our camp right on the border, pretty much between the Yukon and Northwest Territories.
The company's focus in 2023 has been Astro Plutonic complex. Could you give our listeners an overview of this large target and perhaps summarize work completed in the 2023 campaign?
Yeah, so we picked up a large land position, as I said, right on the border, and there are three intrusive bodies along the border, which we call the border intrusives, the Astro Plutonic complex. So we did a lot of work. Previous work had identified a lot of gold in the stream sediment samples draining these intrusive bodies, but really no work had been done within the intrusives themselves. So following Snowline's discovery, we acquired a large ground position around these three intrusive bodies and began work based upon previous workers that had identified gold draining these intrusives. There are three of them: the HIT intrusive, the Astro, and the SER intrusive. And we did work on all three this summer.
And yesterday we received your latest results from the HIT property at the Astro complex. Before we discuss some of these results, can you give us a broad overview of this property and target areas the company has delineated for exploration?
Yeah, so the HIT property was the furthest north of the three intrusive bodies. It's a body of about 2.5 kilometers across and about 1.5 kilometers wide. It's sort of oblong shaped, and there were 3 or 4 areas streams draining the intrusive that showed good gold geochemistry from previous workers. We got on the ground and got boots on the ground within that intrusive body and identified 3 or 4 areas with good sheeted veining within the intrusive itself, which is a good start for looking for these large gold deposits within the intrusive. And we drilled 3 of these targets within the intrusive body over the summer, and a number of other targets within the Astro intrusive as well. So yesterday we released the results of 2 of the holes where we cut some broad intersects of fairly low-grade gold mineralization, but it's good indicative of the type of system we're looking for. So I think we really, given we've only had 1 season on the property, I think we're off to a very, very good start. On surface, we saw that the veining had really shattered the intrusive body itself and created these large gossamer zones with lots of breaks in the intrusive. That's where we put the holes 3 and 4, where we cut 130 meters of a 1/4 gram gold. Within that, there was 2 intercepts of 60 meters and 30 meters of 0.6 and 0.7 gold, and then turning the drill around 100 degrees and go in the opposite direction. We cut 45 meters of 0.5 grams gold. So even though the results are weak to start with, it's usually in these systems you really need to vector in to where these veins are carrying a lot more gold, and I think it's a great start for us on this project.
So just to follow up on my previous question, Simon, I know it's early in preparation, but is the 2024 target to test directly around these intersections, or are these set of results a potential indication that you're sitting on an outlier of the main intrusive?
Yeah, I believe we're sitting on the outlier of the main mineralized body. I mean, we've got very, very strong geochem downstream from these drill results that will be. So we know which way to go to follow this drilling up, and that'll be the first thing we'll do in the season, get the rigs on this target. You can see from the amount of sheeted veining within the core that we're right in the system itself. We're right at the carapace. Then we've got a vector in towards the higher grade, which this geochem we've done tells us which way to go. You can see from this slide. So this is how these systems work. As the intrusive comes in, as it cools down at the very top of the intrusive, the rock fractures a lot, and then the quartz and gold comes into those fracture planes. And we call that the carapace of the intrusive, the very top of the intrusive. So we're right on the edge of that. Now we need to vector in to where the high grade gold is within that area. And it's usually, with Snowline, I think the area they've built up to date is about 400 by 600 meters. And within that, they've defined, plus 5 million ounces. So that's what we need to make. That's our target. That's what we're looking for. We're going to start drilling and start vectoring in towards those higher grades and try to cut that kind of, broad intervals of 1 gram plus.
Now, are these holes similar to what other projects have seen in the early stages?
Yeah, I mean, if you take a look at the Eagle Mine and take a look at some of the holes that Snowline did in where they were just without, trying to vector in towards that high grade part, they cut very similar grades to what we've cut in drill holes 3 and 4. So I think we're right within that carapace zone. It's very exciting. We're off to a great start given the first season on the property, and I think the team is keen to get back there. But, being in the Yukon, that won't be till May of next year. But we've got the season to put all the data together. So we're pretty excited for next year's program, and we financed for it. So that's a good thing that we completed this summer. All
right. Well, once again, we want to thank you for your time today, Simon, and look forward to having you back on for the next Rackla update.
Okay, thank you for the call, Metin.
Thank you.